Christianic C1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. If you haven't already, please hit that like button below and please hit that subscribe button below to keep up with everything we have going on here at C1 Review in Las Vegas and beyond. We greatly appreciate it. Tonight we welcome on ventriloquist, actress, and comedian April Brucker. She's here in the entertainment capital of the world. This is where she resides like us. And of course, she's known for her appearances on TLC's My Strange Addiction and Entertainment Tonight, among many other programs in America and beyond. April, thanks so much for joining us on C1 Review tonight. I'm so happy to have you here.
And I'm happy to be here. I love Las Vegas. It's absolutely fabulous. It's a fabulous community of people. I get to meet people like yourself.
Oh, I love that too. So why don't you just get into it? Had a lot of mainstream articles about your love of puppets, but let's just, before we get into all that, just tell me why you wanted to be a ventriloquist. I know you're a multi-talent, but let's focus on that.
Okay, Chris, you see, when I was growing up, I don't know how old you are, but the big thing was talk to the hand. And I'm probably dating myself when I say that, talk to the hand. And my dad said to me, April, you're never going to be able to make a living by telling people to talk to the hand. What do you think of that, Mr. Hand? Oh, she is doing that right now. Oh, what he's trying to say is I'm a ventriloquist. But what actually made me want to be a ventriloquist was I grew up without cable, and I usually had my own imagination, and I was a huge fan of Sesame Street, huge fan of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And so, anyway, my family got cable. We were channel surfing. My dad, all these channels, finally, didn't like the commercials, got to an Edgar Bergen tribute special. They had Jeff Dunham and everybody on. My family members tried to talk like the ventriloquists. Because I had my great grandmother's sideways Irish smile, I was the only one that could do it. And from there, it just got out of hand. Hello, gorgeous, and who are you?
This is Christianic from C1 Review. For the record, I'm about to be 40 this year.
Oh, so you're about to be 40. Well, Chris, call me in 40 more years. Then you can be my sugar daddy.
That's about where we are in American society today. But with that being said, so I don't want to fast forward too much, but let's just kind of do an overview. Of course, there was TLC's My Strange Addiction, and then there were two articles in the Daily Mail, I believe, in 2015 and 2023, talking about your gigantic puppet collection and how you spent tens of thousands of dollars on this puppet collection. So I guess the question is that how did this all occur in your mind looking back?
How did it all occur? Mae Wilson is here with me. Yes, and it occurred really well. Good, April. I'm going to let you answer that question. So, what occurred was I moved to New York City to attend this Tisch School of the Arts because I was very serious about becoming a ventriloquist growing up. And I had my own television show, Storytime with April and Friends, where my puppet Sweetie Pie and I read bedtime stories to children. I had April Talk, where I interviewed people. April Rock. I moved to New York City, met my fiance, and he said it was either me or the puppets. Loser. Okay, May. She doesn't like him. So anyway, at first I was really conflicted because I wanted to be a wife and a girlfriend. But then I thought, I also want to be a ventriloquist. And I made the decision to put my puppets under the bed. And Chris, let me tell you, I was getting bugs, and not the fun kind like Kim Kardashian gets, okay? Um, so anyway, I put May under the bed, and the relationship just got worse. And so after several months, I missed my puppets. I got May out, and I said, May, I miss you. And I said, April, you know what to do. So we walked into the kitchen. May was on my arm. And I said, listen, you know, you were always a loser, and April is chosen. And it's either you or the Cockets. Well, guess what? She's chosen the Cockets. Sayonara. Yeah, I actually broke up with him with May Wilson on my arm. He's never gotten over that. No.
Well, I'm just going to say this too. So let's move ahead. I think in the 2023 article it said you had 38 puppets, and maybe you have more now. But what's the number now? And is it fair to say, based on these articles, if the media representations are correct, that you probably have spent a couple $100,000 on these puppets? Is that fair to
Uh,
say?
yeah, that is. But you got to remember that I'm a professional ventriloquist. They need new hair. And boy, do I need new hair, Chris. What are you doing later? Ah! Okay, stop hitting on the interviewer. But yeah, they need new hair. They need new clothing. And and they have to have new traveling suitcases. There are times that we travel. They have to have special arrangements to travel, and these puppets, they're working puppets. This is a family where everybody works. May, tell him what you've been up to. Well, I have a recording career. This past Christmas, April and I had a song called Merry Christmas. I'm so glad I didn't marry you. And it made its debut on the Kyle and Jackie O show, the #1 morning show in Australia. That's right, I go down under. Oh, okay, babe, stop making it uncomfortable for everyone. But anyway, so we had our song streamed all over the world, and she was a very busy puppet. I even made a music video, and you're in the studio this week because you have a special project with the world famous ink spots. That's right, we're covering the song That's the Way It Is, and it was originally sung by the original Ink Spots and Ella Fitzgerald. In the Ink Spots music, it's getting a resurgence with Fallout. And if you listen to Fallout, you know the game, I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire, that's the Ink Spots. And that's right, that's the way it is. And I'm working with the world famous Ink Spots, so I'm a busy puppet. And a busy puppet means, we got to buy more dresses for her, more shoes. And they add up because they got to be a special size. The hair has to be a special way. April, you really took the long way in answering that question.
I like details here on CY interview. Question then becomes more than anything else. I mean, obviously, again, you had an ex-fiance that didn't work out. No one should ever have to give up their dreams or ambitions if they truly
Thank you.
love somebody. I agree with that. But the question I have for you is that today, I mean, I know I read in the 2023 article, I believe that that there have been people who wanted to date you, and some guys as far as Croatia, if I'm not mistaken. But like, have you found anybody, or are you still looking for Mr. Puppet Right?
I'm just desperately seeking Mr. OK. April, what are you doing on the show looking for some random guy from Oklahoma when somebody as handsome as Chris is right here? Okay, leave Chris alone. We've been through this. I'm so sorry, Chris. But
No
anyway,
apology needed.
but anyway, I'm just desperately seeking Mr. OK. I just want a guy that likes puppets, that has a job, the bare minimum. But, I've been looking for Mr. OK for a while after things ended with my ex, and that's a funny thing. I was street performing in New York City because Mae Wilson and I were using every chance we got to be the best duo that we could be as my puppet collection grew. And we were street performing, and this guy comes up to us with a camera, and he was very attractive, and he wants to take our picture. Actually, he wanted to take my picture. Easy, May. But anyway, he wanted to take our picture. And so he's taking our picture, and I'm telling him about my fiance because I kind of wanted a date. And he says to me, well, my girlfriend doesn't always understand my picture. So it was like girlfriend, and I was crushed. I wasn't, and only made me want to more. Easy, May. But anyway, we get a call a year later, and it's a casting company. They're like, hey, is it true that you left your fiance for your puppets? I said, well, the relationship had more problems. And they said, well, our casting assistant's boyfriend took your picture a year ago in Williamsburg. And I took the phone and I said, it's true, it's true. You want to put me on TV? Where do I have to go? And the next thing I know, I was on TLC's My Strange Addiction. But the good thing about My Strange Addiction and the proposals that I've been getting is it's streaming on Hulu, Paramount Plus, and when you go to the show, you see somebody that looks familiar. That would be me on the graphic. No, no, that's me and my puppet family, May. I got you the job. No, I got you the job. And we've been getting play all over the world. And so, like it said in the TLC article, I've gotten fan mail as far away from prisoners in Croatia. April's huge with prisoners. Easy, May.
Let me just ask, so moving forward, obviously this is the entertainment capital of the world. There are talented performers in all different entertainment genres and specifics. But like, what was the main motivation to move here?
Well, the main motivation was I started working with my manager, Clinton Ford Billups Jr., and he said, "You need to think outside of New York City. You need to think of Las Vegas." And I had never thought of myself as living somewhere other than New Yorker. I was a dyed-in-the-wool New Yorker. I didn't even have a driver's license when I moved out here. You still don't want to see her drive. Easy, May. I'm a better driver than you are. It is true. She is a better driver. Well, I'm getting better. I still haven't tackled the freeway. Well, anyway, I was like I took the subway everywhere, Um, but he said you could, we talked about me doing my own one woman show, April Unwrapped, because at this point, a lot had happened in my life. I left my fiance, I'd been on reality television, and I'd gone to grad school for creative writing at Antioch University, Los Angeles. And a lot of it was I wanted to learn how to write better scripts for my puppets. And my manager was trying to get me to look at Las Vegas, and I was very impressed by Las Vegas. I loved the warm weather. I absolutely loved just the environment and the people that I met. And I also had two books under my belt. The first was I Came, I Saw, I Sang, Memoirs of a Singing Telegram Delivery Girl. Because that's what I did to support myself in New York City. And it gave me the confidence to do all sorts of things. And the second was an adult picture book called April Unwrapped. And I was going to do a one woman show called April Unwrapped. I premiered in January of 2020, two preview weekends. I was spectacular. Okay, easy does it, May. And then I was supposed to open in March of 2020, and we all know what happened.
So here's my question for you. So there's been some highlights over these last couple of years in Las Vegas: Planet Hollywood, Notoriety Theater, Alexis Park. Why don't you tell me about your highlights here in Las Vegas in the last 5 years since you've been here?
Well, I've done a lot in Las Vegas. I've hosted my own show called April in Vegas, and it's a TV chat show, and it's been an amazing ride poolside at the English Hotel with Steve Dennis. I was the special guest star in an all-female review. No, 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 no. I was the special guest star. No, May, I was the special guest star. No, I was the special guest star. We were the special guest stars. No, no, no. I was the special guest star. May, shh. There's no I in team. No, but there's a me. Okay, okay. Yeah, we were the special guest stars. And we got to experience a Las Vegas audience, which a Las Vegas audience is different than any audience on the face of the planet. And May, tell them about one of the highlights. Well, at the end of our routine, which is very salty, I show off my vocal stylings. Celine Dion moves over. And I was singing Mr. Sandman. It's the way we wrap up because sometimes our set can be, a little abrasive. And this guy in the front row stands up and screams, "Oh my gosh, the puppet sings!" And I really do sing. And anyway, I said to one of my castmates, Sean Cooper, veteran here in Las Vegas, I said, "Do they know that she's not real?" And Sean looks at me and he goes, "Listen, this is Las Vegas. She goes to the supermarket. She picks up laundry. She's real. This is Vegas." And I said, "Darn right I'm real. And FYI, April, I'm not a puppet. I'm a textile American. And if you're watching, I do need a sugar daddy." She's pushing the sugar daddy thing. Well, it is Las Vegas. What better place to find a sugar daddy than Las Vegas?
So what was the name of the review you were in?
Burlesque Q.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I'm aware of that. Okay, that makes sense. So then let me just ask you, I think that you're incredibly talented. There's no denying that, and you're absolutely an original. There's no denying that, and you have absolutely a artistic background. Have you been working on getting your own show in a venue on a weekly basis? I know it's a process. It takes a long time. You really have to push for these things, but like, what's the plan?
The plan is I'm in pre-production for another season of my chat show, April in Vegas. And I'm also, May and I are also in the studio this week with the Ink Spots recording That's the Way It Is. Actually, I'm recording That's the Way It Is. And so we're going to be doing some music and some shows. Stay tuned, everybody, and watch out.
Is it fair to say that you do some touring as well, like outside of
Yes.
Vegas?
Oh, yes, it is. Absolutely. I have done, what's that show we did? We were in the Vermont Burlesque Festival. Yeah, we were in the Vermont Burlesque Festival. It was a great time, but there's nothing like Vermont in the winter. Well, anyway, Chris, I gotta go see my sugar daddy. I'll be back. There she goes. Clean up Canal 5, clean up Canal 5. Oh, my gosh. You look like somebody famous, but you're not. Well, I'm Mr. Las Vegas' second cousin, twice removed. Twice removed? Yes, I was removed once by casino security and once by the Clark County Department of Health. So, you're not Mr. Las Vegas. No, little darling. I'm Mr. Almost Las Vegas. Almost Las Vegas. Thank you very much. Clean up Canal 5. What's going on? Sorry, I'm still on the clock. Have you ever met your famous cousin? Well, yes, I have. He gave me his autograph once. Autograph? That's great. It was big and gold at the bottom of the restraining order. I see. But yeah, this is Dwayne Newton. I'm another one of my characters.
So let me just ask you, focusing going forward, tell me a little bit about the show that you do at the English Hotel that you were mentioning earlier, and when the next season is beginning.
The next season is beginning in a few months. It's a TV chat show where I interview people, just like you're interviewing me now. And I also have a segment called Puppets on the Street. Yes, and I, starting to have an investigative journalism background. And when I interview somebody, I say the facts, just the facts, ma'am. No, no, you don't, Dwayne. Yes, I do. Clean up Canal 5. Half off on tortilla chips. It's tortilla chips. Tortilla. Sorry, this is what I got to deal with. But yeah, and I'm doing dummies on. But yeah, dummies on the street is one of the segments. But I interview people like I'm interviewing you now, and I had a lot of great guests on, like Morale Cotby. I had she was Illuminate. I had Dustin Wax from the Burlesque Hall of Fame. I had, Goody from Goody's Original Popcorn, and my co-host Steve Dennis. He's got his own YouTube channel, Cash and Crash Las Vegas Live, and so we're in pre-production right now. But we've had some holdups because we're SAG after production. We had the strike. Then my co-host had some health issues and it got hot real quick. So things didn't move as quickly as we wanted to, but now they're moving along. And I just want to say, Duncan Shane for having me right here. You've been a fabulous host. Okay, well, my gosh, this is what I got to deal with.
It's pretty phenomenal, honestly. So let's get the number here so we can update the number. Is it still 38 puppets or is it more at this point?
Yes, it's 38.
Okay. So here's my question in this regard. Like, how often do you use all of them? Are there ones that you favor more than others? Are there ones that are seasonal situations? Like, how does that work?
Well, every puppet has, and that's a good question, has a different purpose. Sometimes when I do stuff that's more family oriented, I'll use certain puppets. He's absolutely a Las Vegas puppet.
Yes, because I'm Mr. Almost Las Vegas. Thank you, Dwayne. Dwayne Newton, everybody. And just so you know, you can see me performing at the Kroger Supermarket Slot Parlor. Kroger's. But I got hopes and I got dreams. Someday when they get a game license, I hope to appear at Whole Foods. Uh-huh. But yeah, but he's more Las Vegas. Then I have a mobster turned magician. I have a gambling granny. I have a grill. And so everybody has their own thing. And then I have a zombie for Halloween. I have a monster. So yeah, some of these are in fact seasonal. But yeah, this is an excellent question. I wish people would ask it more.
You're more than welcome. So, thoughts in closing, focusing probably on the most prominent ventriloquist in town, Terry Fader. Does he give you hope for the future?
Actually, yes, he does. Terry's been a bit of an inspiration for me, and I talk about it in my book, Don't Read My Lips. It's available on Amazon. And back in the day, I got to get back to Kroger's. Gosh, I'm just going to talk to you now in closing, person to person. And people say to me, April, how many guests are going to come with you? And I say, I'm not like one guest, I'm like three, as you can see, at least. And he does
Sure.
give me hope for the future because when I was a little ventriloquist, I was on Rachel Ray. And I did a segment called Audience Has Got Talent, and he had just won America's Got Talent. And Jerry Springer says to me, "You're no Terry Fader." And of course, I'm little, I'm on TV, I'm crushed, okay? I'm a baby. But then I worked really, really hard because I was inspired by Terry Fayer. I was inspired by that win. I was inspired by the success in Vegas. So years later, Mae Wilson and I found ourselves in front of Jerry Springer again. And we said to him, we took your advice, we worked hard, and now we're doing shows in Las Vegas and everywhere. So yeah, Terry does give me hope for the future. So does Jeff Dunham. So does Paul Zerden. So does Darcy Lynn. So does this crop of young ventriloquists coming up. They all give me hope for the future.
April Brucker, who is based here in Las Vegas. You can see her in the upcoming season of April in Vegas. That takes place at the English Hotel. Hopefully we'll be seeing a new season in a couple of months. April, in closing, tell us where everyone can find you.
In closing, please check out That's the Way It Is, featuring April Brucker, Mae Wilson, and the Ink Spots. I just want to push that. I am so anxious for that project. And you can also find me on Facebook under the April Brucker, Instagram under the April Brucker. I'm on X. And I am on YouTube under April Brucker Comedy, or just look at April Brucker and I should come up.
We'll be linking at the bottom of this one, as always, on CY Interviews, so everyone can find her. April Brucker, ventriloquist, very talented, very inspiring, very positive, and very funny. Thank you so much for joining us on CY Interview, and we'll absolutely have to have you back at some point.
Thank you.